Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Sergeant Warpath, and I'm your host, and welcome to another episode of The Brief. Today, we're going to be talking about the early access virus. That's what we're going to be talking about today. That's going to be our main topic. I mean, there's going to be other segments, but that is going to be our main topic of today. So, talking about early access, right? One of the questions we can always ask ourselves is, what are the pros and cons of early access, right? What are the Willow? How you doing? Welcome in. You know, what's the pros and the cons of early access? Is early access good for you? Is early access actually bad when it comes to actually the gamer itself, the player, right? Is it bad for the developers? Is it good for the developers? Well, everybody has their own opinions when it comes to the early access, and that's what we're going to discuss. So let's talk about it, right? First and foremost, how's everybody doing? I'm happy that everybody's here, just chilling, relaxing. So hopefully you guys have a little bit of a sense of what the early access is, right? Because everybody thinks, oh, it's early access, so it's a game that's kind of incomplete, but that's not really the reality. Yes, some games are incomplete when it comes to early access, but that's not really the reason behind the early access, right? And I've noticed that a lot of games nowadays have been coming out in an early access, and I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing really good. The family's doing great. Kids are doing fantastic. I have not hugged the fly today. I've been home today. It's been super windy out here, so I've been trying to stay warm. It's windy and it's getting cold. So, so yeah. One of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of games are coming out in early access, right? And I've noticed that a lot of early access games, let's put it I don't know, I guess let's put it this way. Out of 10 early access games, probably 4 out of those 10s might survive. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many early access games coming out that most of these early access games actually die out. Either it's because of not enough funds, or there's not enough players actually interacting with the developers to be part of what could be an amazing game, right? Or part of history in the making, but it just doesn't happen sometimes. So let's start with, what is early access? Okay, so let's start from there. So Night Will says, I don't mind early access, but a lot of spoilers come out because of the early access. Interested in it anymore. Yeah, absolutely. I understand that there is a lot of spoilers with the early access, but the point of the early access is to actually be able to, for the developers to actually fund the game and to have the players be part of the actual development of the game. That is really the reason of early access. There is a lot of people that do that, acknowledge there is no interest. Sheesh, I can't type. No, it's all right. For sure. I'm with you on that. I completely understand. So let's go ahead and break down early access for you guys here. So what is early access, right? Let me move up here real quick for you guys. Because everybody has a different, I guess, opinion of what early access is. But there is something in common when it comes to what is early access, right? So let's head out to the info booth. Okay. So here we are. So according to Game Maker, and by the way, this is an article from 2023, but it is a well-developed article. Okay. So early access, right? The way they present it and the way they give their definition of is, think of early access as a pre-purchase for a game that isn't finished yet. All right. The idea is that the developer makes an alpha or beta build of their game available to buy for a knockdown price. That is not always the case. For developers, it's a chance to raise money to help with development costs, grow your community, and to canvas players' feedback to help improve your game. Players get instant access to the game and all future builds. That's actually facts. That is something that will happen, right? As the game develops, as the game grows, every update, every hotfix, every patch gets put into your game. So therefore, you are getting all those future builds. You can also offer feedback to the development team to help shape the final version. Whether the developers want to take your feedback or not, that's really on them, right? At the end of the day. But sometimes it does happen. If you are a big fan of a certain type of game or genre and they have an early access and you put your feedback out there and all of a sudden you see that a hotfix came in or a patch came in and there's an update and you notice that something you said is in the game, you as a player are going to feel, that raises the trust of the developers, right? That raises in you and say, man, these developers are fucking listening. You know what I'm saying? A good example is Omeda Studios with Predecessor. That is a great fucking example. Before they actually started going through everything, right? They brought out the game as early access. You had to pay premium, depending on what is it that you're trying to do, right? There was like 3 different, like basic, medium, let's say, normal, uncommon, and rare, or whatever you want to call it. But there was 3 different tiers. And, if you're really a big fan of the game back in the day when it was called, Paragon, right? Then you would have probably gotten the tier 3. I got the tier 3. I helped Omeda Studios, right? I gave them my money so they can keep developing. The best part is that everybody was giving their feedbacks, including myself, to the game because I am a big fan. I haven't played it in a while, but it's because there's other games and I'm interested in video games in general, not just MOBAs. But I noticed that when I gave a feedback, one of those feedback actually came through, and I noticed that it was in the game, and I'm like, oh my God, these dudes are listening. We're getting somewhere, right? So it's really cool to know that your opinion and your feedback is getting acknowledged by the developers themselves. So that's always good. And something that they have in common with the definition of what is an early game is the fact that it does help them raise money. And that is the main purpose of the early access. So according to Tape Reel, early access is not a demo or beta test, right? But rather a way for developers to fund their game's development while gathering feedback from a larger audience. So that's something that everybody has in common with the definition of what is an early access. This approach allows developers to refine the game, fix bugs, and make changes based on players' feedback, ultimately leading to a better final product. Okay? Now, the reason I titled my podcast The Early Access Virus is because no longer we are getting full video games, correct? We're getting what they call the MVP, right? And the MVP is the minimal viable product. So in other words, you are getting enough of the game that it actually works, but they need funding to actually finish the game. So that is what you're receiving. Now, here's the problem that I'm having with that is that, let's say you release a game like I'm going to use Predecessor again as an example, right? Predecessor came out and tons of people bought different types of tiers, whether it was basic, whether it was tier 2 or tier 3, right? It don't matter. The facts is that they made lots of money for the development of the game. I'm not saying Omeda Studios kept some of that money. That's not what I'm saying. And on the contrary, I think they actually put that money to really good use. But I do feel that there's a lot of companies out there that actually might do that, right? Oh my God, we made millions in this early access, bundle that we released. We're going to use out of the million, we're going to use this amount. And we're slowly going to put, hot fixes and patches and updates. And I notice also that a lot of early access games, when they actually do updates or whatever, the first thing they will do as an update, it sucks to say it, but they'll go ahead and if the early access did not come with a battle pass, they'll most likely put a battle pass there or a store. So not only did you help by purchasing the early access, now you have a store that will give you skins. It might not be expensive, right? Because they're in early access, so they don't want to scare away the players either, saying, oh my God, I got to pay $20 for a fucking skin. What the fuck is this? Because that just, it breathes what it shouldn't breathe, right? If I get an early access and a skin is like about $20, I can already tell what this process is looking like. At this point, I feel like you're trying to take my money. That's where I'm getting at, right? So they're not going to do that. But now you'll have a store. You already purchased the early access game, right? And now you have a store, and you're purchasing stuff from the store. So you're still helping on gathering, you know, those funds for the developers, or the developers are gathering those funds. And some companies, I feel, they might keep that money, right? Oh, well, whatever we make in the store, that's for us, and we will build from the early access, which then in turn makes the process, I think, slower on the early access games, to be honest. A good example, Escape from Tarkov. That game has been in beta in like forever, and I'm gonna be completely honest, right? I'm pretty sure it's already released. I don't know where that's at this point anymore, but I know it was on beta for years and years and years. Like, if it's on beta, you know, that's just another word for early access. If it's on beta and you haven't taken it off from beta and people are keep playing and there is wipes, meaning, oh, we're going to release this big update to enhance certain things, so we're going to wipe. So in other words, you're going to start again from zero, but you're playing the beta. It's the same concept, so it is early access. So then don't call it a beta, right? Right, shit is shit, and that's just the way it is. Just don't disguise it. Don't sugarcoat it to the players, because we're not fucking dumb. Yeah. I'm sorry, I get very passionate and very, you know, emotional when it comes to video games, because I feel like companies do think that we're dumb. I feel like it's one of those, oh, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of those, oh, they don't know. Which we do know. We do know. We're literally reaching from our pockets to our wallets to give you money. So we do know. Like, people that work hard, that understand, right? I'm not talking about rich people. I mean, rich people do whatever the fuck they want, right? But the facts are the facts. People that do work hard and actually, you know, get that paycheck, sometimes we save money off to the side so we can get that video game. So we do know, because now we're so laser focused in getting that video game that we're always going to be reading about the video game. What's the status of the video game? How is the life cycle doing? You know, what's the how's the game concept being built? So we are going to read about all this shit, and we're going to know the negatives and the positives, and it's up to us to make that educated decision with our pockets and decide if we're going to fucking buy this game or not. Period. But yeah, that's a great example. I think Escape from Tarkov, you know, it's been like that for a while, and eventually they released, I remember there was a big controversy with that game because they released a bundle, right? They released a bundle, and the bundle was like absurd expensive, somewhere around the hundreds. And they're like, oh, if you want to play the single, not the single player, but the PvE or whatever and whatnot, you need to purchase this bundle. So you're telling me that I bought your base game, or I probably purchased another type of bundle, right? And you're telling me that my bundle is now completely worthless after I paid maybe $70-$80 for a bundle because it includes other stuff that I might wanted. You're telling me that you're gonna keep the 80. You're not even gonna fucking honor that shit and say, well, you paid 80 for that bundle, so all you need to pay is the difference. Yeah, no, you're saying, hey, you need to get this bundle. What about this other bundle? Well, fuck that bundle. The $120 bundle one is that's the one. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's Jesus coming down with techno and little lights. Like, that's what you want. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what the fuck? What am I gonna do with the $80 that I just fucking lost? Just fucking nothing? You guys are gonna keep that shit? You're not gonna bring it back? You're not gonna give it to me? See what I'm saying? So it was a big controversy with that, and players rised up. They're like, no, it's absurd. And a lot of people stopped playing. They finally figured out all the concepts and whatnot. Now people are coming back, little by little, but they're coming back, right? So we're not dumb. We're not dumb. That's just the way it is. So it's always very. This topic is very open when it comes to the multiple layers that will go into the early access, right? When it comes to development and whatnot. Going back to game makers, something that I found interesting here was some pros and cons, right? Before we hop into that, I had a question to myself, right? I had a big question for myself when I was actually reading a lot of these things and whatnot. And it's a question where I didn't find it here. It's just a question that arose to me, which means, like, for example, is early access bad for games then? You know what I'm saying? So that was a question as I'm reading and I'm deep diving into this information. The first thing that comes into my head is, okay, well, the truth is there's more cons than pros when it comes to early access. So is early access actually bad for games then? Is it bad for the players? Is it bad for the ecosystem of video games? And I honestly wrote something, and I'm gonna share for you the answer that I had for that in my mind as I think of questions, right? And that's just me being my military self. If I'm gonna ask a question to myself, I'm gonna try to answer it to myself, right? Like a demented person that I am. So the way I answered it is, early access allows for players' involvement in game development, providing feedback, testing, and role in shaping the final product. Early access games can be cheaper initially and offer unique insight into a game's evolution, but of course it can remain incomplete and buggy. Final thoughts on this question of mine is that early access is neither bad or good. Starts to call the mental hello. In final thoughts to the question was, there's really not a right answer to that, right? Early access is neither good or bad for games. And I think that's why we're seeing so much of the early access nowadays. It's just not, there's no way to actually identify, was it good or is it bad? Because there has been really good games that have come out in early access and have succeeded in creating a masterpiece. While there's also been video games that have come out and have failed miserably in creating something, leaving the players high and dry. Their money is no longer theirs because it went to the developers, and it leaves a bad taste. So when you see the developers maybe coming up with another project, it just leaves a bad taste. Do we really want to trust these developers at this point? We're gonna hop into some pros and cons here. I like the way they developed it here on Game Maker. So pros and cons of early access for developers, right? Their advantages is additional funding, player feedback, and community growth. I do enjoy the fact that they're not going to list a whole bunch of advantages and then some disadvantages, or a whole bunch of disadvantages and some advantages. They kind of wanted to go with one thing to another, which I enjoy that. That's pretty good. Give me a second. Let me take a sip here. Yeah, that's the stuff. So, advantages, right? Additional funding, player feedback, and community growth. Disadvantages towards those advantages is oversaturation, negative reviews, and managing expectations, right? And they also break it down this way, and I like that. I like the way they break it down a little bit so you can understand what are they talking about with these pros and the cons, right? So, additional funding, making games can be expensive. Yeah, no shit. We went from what, maybe like a $20 game, which shit, not even. Fucking, how much was Super Nintendo games back in the day? They were like, what, like $15 or some shit like that? Maybe 20. Let's put 20, right? So And I'm not coming from the Super Nintendo, I'm coming from the fucking Sega Master System era. Like we're talking about this big, that's my era, right? But I've touched a lot of different consoles in my life. I've played the Ataris, I've played the ColecoVisions, I have played all that stuff. Like I when it comes to video gaming, I love it. It's an amazing world. I've met people. It's a way to escape. I don't have to live my world. I can create a new world. You know what I'm saying? I can be somebody different and just be that person when I'm playing video games. But yeah, making games can definitely be expensive. Many indie devs release early games to raise the capital they need to improve the existing build and complete that development. So player feedback, right? Playtesting is a long work. Most AAA studios hire entire teams of playtesters, to hunt down every single bug, glitch, and soft lock in their games. I do have an opinion on that. It's funny how AAA studios do have the money to purchase all these big teams to playtest, right? And funny enough, apparently Full Sail University also has like a degree where you can become a playtester. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know you had to need a degree for that. But anyways, so AAA studios, right? They can hire this big team of players, sit them down so they can search for every single bug, any problems, glitch, or whatever in the game. So how is it that most AAA games come out so fucked up then, if that's the case? Either you're hiring people that don't care, that they're just there to get a paycheck, right? Or you're hiring people that do care, but don't understand what they're doing. Either or. I mean, we've seen it over and over and over and over again. There's been a lot of indie games out there that are way better than AAA games. Just baffling to me, to be honest. So, and that's my take on that, right? Yeah, most AAA studios do hire entire teams, but most of those AAA games, they come out fucked up anyways. So somebody's not doing the job. So with early access games, the players can become place testers, helping you identify problems and suggesting improvements that you may have never have thought of. And that's facts. Think about it, right? AAA studios will go ahead and hire maybe 60, 120 playtesters, maybe. Let's say, for example, I'm pretty sure it's more than that, but let's say it's 120. Or if we want to be, if we want to like kind of level it, if we want to level it correctly, or not correctly, but if we want to level it properly, I guess, let's say they hire, I don't know, this is a very exaggerated fucking number, but let's say 600 people. AAA studio, Blizzard or Activision or whatever, they go ahead and say, hey, we're going to, I wouldn't say Activision. Activision is actually a publisher. But Infinity Ward, let's say, for example, creators of Call of Duty, right? So let's say they hire 500 people to play test this game. Well, with the early access, indies have the capacity to like have thousands upon thousands people. That's a lot of fucking feedback. So, I don't know if that would be very overwhelming, but I'm pretty sure it is. And it's these indie companies probably sit down and they go through feedbacks over feedbacks. Like they really have to sit down and be like, holy shit, where do we start? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I think having an early access. Look, if a AAA studio releases a game in early access, dude, they would hate life, because people would be like, nah, this sucks. Look at this glitch. Why does my hand go like through the gun and this and that? And they're like, bro, we're not, like, you guys are nitpicking. It's not nitpicking, bro. This is exactly what playtesting should be doing. They should be nitpicking the shit. This is your baby, and your baby is going to go out there and entertain upon thousands and thousands of people But if your baby looks and it doesn't function right, then people are going to abandon your baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I gotta say when it comes to that. Community growth. You know, when early access games are done well, your players become the biggest advocates, and that's true. That is true. If you actually go to the Discord for Predecessor, you will literally have everybody there, and they will tell you how great this game is. I'm one of them. I can 100% tell you, rate one of the greatest MOBAs. And once they fully finish it and fully release, that is going to be a awesome MOBA to play. And every day I see new TikToks of new people playing, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen that person play. Wow, that's cool. Every day there's new people going into that game. So disadvantages, right? Oversaturation. So at the time of writing, right? So this is what the person said, right? At the time of writing, there are just over 7,000 early access games available on Steam. That is crazy. And this is in 2023. I can only imagine how many early access games are in Steam right now, all competing for people's attention. The pool of gamers happy to support early access titles is thinner than it's ever been. With so many other games to compete with, you need to make sure your game is capable of standing out in the crowd, and that's true. It's just like streaming, right? You got to be entertaining. Right nowadays, it's just about entertainment. It's not just about the game. It used to be just about the game. Now it's about how entertained can that person be sitting there watching you. And I understand, right? They're taking some of their time to watch you. So how can that person be entertained? See what I'm saying? So I understand where that comes from. Actually, as a matter of fact, we should check. Where would I go, right? It'll be the store, and I guess it'll be the category, maybe. Let's see, early access. Okay, so if we go all the way down, these are all early access games, by the way. Right here. There is 12,438 motherfucking early access games. That's crazy. That is fucking insane. Insane. So look, like for example, Lethal Company. This game has been out for like a while already, and it's still in early access. But me looking at the game, like me looking at people playing the game, this game plays well. I don't understand where the early access is. I really don't. And I take it that the developers probably have more ideas for the game, and they're like, oh man, we want to do this, we can do this. But like, bro, you can still do that. Take it out of the early access at this point. Leave it at $10 then. People are going to buy it. They'll be like, hey, we're no longer early access. Here's the full release of the game, and we're going to keep it at $10. Cool. They'll buy it. 100%. 100%. I'm sorry, I feel like I want to sneeze. Early access, Witchfire. This game just kind of came out. Let me see. This game was what? September 23. So this game kind of already came out and whatnot. And I think this is a single player. Yeah, it's like a roguelike RPG shooter and whatnot. I'm very curious about it, and I'm, see the difference of the early games, right? Early access games. This is $40. This is a $40 early access game. Compared to the $60, right? You look at the game and you're like, hey, this game looks like it plays well, bro. And look, it's beautiful. For $40, I take it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah, no. This game looks really good. It actually does look really good. Let's see if I can push it forward a little bit. Yeah, that's how it looks like. This game looks amazing. It's a single player. Think about it as, that game is $51.99 for me. Oh, is it? Oh, it's Canadian, right? You have Canadian over there because you're from Canada. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But I'm pretty sure it's the same transfer. It's like, this game looks amazing. Now, if the way it looks and the way the graphics look, I haven't seen anybody play it yet, but I am going to check out gameplay of it, of course, and whatnot. It doesn't feel like an early access game. So this is one of those games that people would definitely hop onto and definitely give the feedback and be like, oh, you know what? You could do this, you could do that, and actually create an amazing game that can be like part of the greats. This game looks great. Yeah, this game looks fucking awesome. Yeah, this game looks so good. So good. So yeah, so this is an example. Like, also another example is Gray Zone. I have Gray Zone. It's on early access. It needs work. I have sent out my feedback on their Discord and whatnot, right? There's an actual update in my library for it, which might as well go ahead and download it. But here's the thing. That's just a hotfix. All you're doing is like, all they did was maybe fix something that was on the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, that's a 23 gig hotfix, so they fix a good amount of stuff. But what a lot of people have been talking about and complaining about is the optimization. So until there's an actual optimization, like, update to it, like, people are just going to keep abandoning the game. And I'll tell you how that looks like, right? If we go here and we go on Twitch, okay, and we put Gray Zone, right? Gray Zone has only 40 viewers, so 40 people are only playing, right? 40 people are viewing, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people playing. Compared to when this game came out, this page was fucking full. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason this dude has the majority of the views is because King Titus has actually been playing this, and this has been the game that he's been stuck on, right? He likes this game. I don't blame him. I love this game, and once this game gets optimized, I'm hopping right the fuck back in. Okay, and then so let's say the other game, let's say Witchcraft. Is that what it was called? Was it called Witchcraft? No, I might be messing that up. Door, go back one. Okay, go back one. Okay, Witchfire. That's what it's called. There you go, Witchfire. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 people playing. This game has only been out, but it's a single player. It's not a multiplayer. That's the thing, right? So now if you want to compare a multiplayer or like a hyper realistic shooter with another hyper realistic shooter, right? We're talking about comparing Gray Zone to, of course, the king of them kings, Escape from Tarkov. Boom. 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 See what I'm saying? Why? Because the game finally is optimized. This game, they optimized the fuck out of it. And this game plays very well. It's extremely smooth. Hit detection is perfect. It's just good. The game is good. I have Escape from Tarkov. You know? But back then, when I started playing, I was not good with the keyboard and mouse. I sucked at that. Why? Because I've been a pad player for like, I don't know, since birth. So transitioning from that to keyboard and mouse has been hard. And Gray Zone was the one that actually took me out of that shell. It's a little bit more simpler, but now I'm able to like really play. Another game that you can compare Grayzone with, right, is Arena Breakout Infinite. I play Arena Breakout Infinite, and yeah. See, it's not as long as Tarkov, but it definitely has more people than Grayzone. See what I'm saying? And the reality is, though, Grayzone is actually way better than Arena Breakout. 100%. But it needs optimization. You know, it crashes whenever it wants. It uses mad amounts of resources in your computer. So like for me to play Grayzone perfectly, I would have to not stream or not have even a video playing in the background or nothing. It's just there. And I have a 3080. I have an i7, you know, fucking Series 10 unlocked. That's ridiculous. I have a powerhouse CPU. I have an amazing fucking graphics card. Like, bro, I don't know how much more resources you need from my fucking PC. So they need to fix that, right? They definitely need to fix that. So more disadvantages for developers, right? Negative reviews. If you're releasing an incomplete game, you need to prepare yourself for negative reviews, 100%. They won't always feel fair, given early access games are meant to be perfect. But not every buyer will understand what they're getting into. That is true. That is actually 100% true. Sometimes I get a game and I'm playing it and something stupid comes up. At first, I'm like, "Ugh, this is stupid, dude. Like, why would they do this? Why'd they release it like this?" Well, it's early access. And the only thing we could say is that, well, it's on early access. It'll get fixed. You know what I'm saying? It'll get fixed. Oh, you're not late at all, brother. You're not late at all. It's like, well, I mean, it'll get fixed eventually. You know what I'm saying? You didn't miss much. You did not miss much. We're just talking about the early access virus. You haven't missed tons. So you're good. You're still here. Right now, we're going over pros and cons and stuff like that. See, here's a really good example from the negative reviews, right? Take a game like Craftopia, largely seen as one of the better early access games going today. A misunderstanding over whether the developers, Pocket Pair, had abandoned the project to start to work on a new title, resulting in a wave of negative reviews. And that's something that should never be done, right? It was a misunderstanding for sure, but something that developers should never do is, if you are going to release a game in early access, that means you are dedicated. You as a developer and your team are dedicated to make sure that you receive that feedback, that you put those funds in great use. Give me just a quick second. That you put those resources in great use and funds. Make sure that you're constantly understanding where are the faults and the errors of those of your game, and make those hot fixes as soon as possible. Content is power, and that's just the way it is in any motherfucking game that you buy. Content will always be power. If you release a fucking game and I can go through that game within 10 hours of gameplay, and now I'm already repeating content, you have lost me as a player, right? You have a very small window, and that's for any player. You have small amounts of window. So in other words, you have maybe a month or two before that player decides, I'm done with the game, I'm going to go move on to another game. They're going to find again, play that other new game, and they're going to be like, oh my God, look at all this stuff that I can do and shit. And then all of a sudden, that player has forgotten about your game. They don't even care that they spent $40 or $20 or $15 on early access game, because there's no content in that game. Like, for example, Arena Breakout. I'm playing it. I already leveled up to level 30. There is nothing else for me to do in the game. All I can do is go in there and hunt, make other players' lives miserable, and steal their shit. That's all I can do. There's so much of that I can play until I'm actually bored about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started playing Throne and Liberty. And I'm going to be honest with you. Holy shit, mother of content. Like, goddamn. Arena straight opinion. Honestly, while you're leveling up, is actually not that bad. But it is once you're done with the levels, right? Once you cap, which is 30, then yeah, it gets boring because at that point, you like I said, you're just hunting. Tarkov is leaps and bounds better. I hope so. Because Tarkov was in beta for like fucking years. Shit, does it still say that it's on beta? Hopefully not. Because that game was in beta forever. Again, see? Okay. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Awesome. There's not even a release date on this. Okay, so it's been on beta since 2016. See what I'm saying? No, I get it. There is events and there is content. I understand that. But this is something that I would tell people, right? Or this is what I was talking about. You're saying that your game is in alpha. It started in alpha and now it's in beta and it's still in fucking beta. At that point, it looks very fucking suspicious. You've been in beta since August 4th of 2016. Okay. I paid $300 for a beta. Feel stupid. Again, was I not talking about that, Niwilla? Was I not talking about that? I'm telling you, it just looks very fucking suspicious to me, right? You've been in beta since 2016. People have been putting money in the game for you guys to keep developing it. At what point people are gonna understand? And I know it happened already once, right? The big controversy of a bundle that came out. And I think that was like, what, last year? You know what I'm saying? No, they didn't get nothing. Nothing. You don't get nothing for it. You that brings you to 75. The later one of the bigger butt case. Yep, and stash. And now I'm at 275. That's yeah. See what I'm saying? There was a big controversy last year about about a certain bundle that they had to lower down the price and all that stuff. So, nope, just a big butt case and a bigger stash. Yeah. Not even a thank you. So, like I said, it looks very suspicious. Okay, it's like, so I'm gonna pay all this money. You guys are still in beta since 2016. What are we doing? It's funny how right here on the AI overview on Google, right? This is just them looking for information. That's a new thing from Google. Well, it's been a while, but they use AI to find information in all webs and kind of summarize it. Apparently, finally, they're expecting a full release in 2024. When? Because it's October. I don't see it. But okay. We cannot even escape from Tarkov yet. The name of the game. You can't even. So yeah, and you know, I don't know what to tell you. I think they would have less controversies when releasing certain packages or bundles or a store per se, right? If they even want to put a battle pass or whatever they want to do with the game. The facts is take it out of beta and call it an early access at this point. That would give the game a refresher. Think about it. From 2016 to 2024, it's been a beta. How about when December kicks in, you go ahead and say, hey, we're no longer in beta, we're on early access. which at that point, it revitalizes the game. So even extremely old heads that used to play that no longer are playing because XYZ reason will drop what they're doing, head back to fucking EFT just to see what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, now you have early access. That means you're telling people we are in the verge of a full release here. Holy shit, the waves that you would create, EFT. Oh, every second, but I'm not going to die on a hill for it. 7 years is insane. Yep. The game is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I have it. I own it, right? I own the base game as well. I think it's amazing as well. It plays well. It's very optimized. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Once Grayzone actually does optimize their game and understands what needs to happen, I think Grayzone might actually give it a really good run for its money. That's me. I digress. Yes, games, to be honest, they spend your money and wait 10 years. That's like I said, and it's a question I was talking about early in the podcast, right? Is early access game, bad for games? There's not really an answer to that, because early access is either not bad nor good. So there's not really a proper answer to a question like that, right? Let's hop into the pros and cons of early access for players itself. And this is where these two pages came in to me alive, right? This right here is great. The early access release, we're going to talk about that here in a couple of minutes. I think this is an amazing little chart here. I wouldn't say chart, I guess a little table, right? This is great. Hold on. I know I saw some pros and cons of them here as well. Just so you guys if you guys want to read and whatnot, Tape Reel is actually pretty good at creating really good news on certain things. Let me see. I saw some pros and cons here. Okay. Well, I wrote some of my pros and cons of my own early opinions. Let's hop in back to this right here for later. And then we're going to go to the pros and cons of early access for players, right? I might not even play games, but at the time some of these games are done, I might have had 10 kids in no time, so the investment is not super enticing for me, honestly. I don't know where I'll be in a month, let alone 3 years. That is facts. That is factual. But clearly 7 years later, here you are playing EFT. So we're good. Something is certain. You will be playing EFT. I just bought it. Don't scream at me. Don't scream at me. I'm sorry. Oh, that's hilarious. This is my first wipe 7 years later. There's been several wipes. There's definitely been several wipes. Every time they do a big update, they wipe. So, pros and cons for early access for players, okay? So, advantages: discounted games and sense of ownership. Now, the sense of ownership, I'm about to break everybody's heart here, but that's not a thing. And I'll explain why here in a second. So we're going to hop into the advantages here, and then we're going to talk about the disadvantages as well, okay? So, discounted games, everybody loves a bargain. Absolutely. My price, free 99. Perfect. And early access games are an absolute steal when they're done well. Subnautica, actually, that's a really amazing game, believe it or not. I played just a little bit of it. My buddy had it, and I played a little bit of it just to test it out. I'm like, not my kind of game, not my kind of genre, because I'm not a survival kind of genre kind of guy. But honestly, plays well for the price. Subnautica entered the early access at $18. But once it picked up, right, they rose the price to $25. When it finally released, then they raised it again to $30. Makes sense. They were trying to get funds, so the game came out cheap. it started popularity. The game was actually getting worked on every day. I think Subnautica was one of those games where it was very praised upon because like every month there was a big update and there was tons of changes. So you knew that the money was going to the game. You knew that, right? You're like, holy shit, we're about to have a huge ass game, right? So then they raised it up to 25 because they needed more money to fund certain things that they wanted to do with the game. They finally did it, and they decided, well, we went from MVP, which is minimal viable product, to an FP. We have a full product, right? So then it rose to $30, and it's been like that. Every now and then they do discounts, but early adopters got a juicy discount. They helped bring Subnautica into being because of all the feedback, and they got the satisfaction of knowing that they were there from the start, and that is facts. That is facts. You don't understand how much I want Grayzone to be where I wanted it to be, because I feel like, holy shit, I was here from the get-go. Like when people go ahead and say, oh man, this glitch right here is fucking me up, bro. That's nothing. That is nothing. You don't know the sufferment that I've had through. I'm not gonna read the sense of ownership, okay? Because that's not a thing. And this is the reason why. When you buy anything digital, you don't own it. Okay? You don't own it. Okay? The music that you buy on Spotify, iTunes, or whatever, the subscription that you pay for, the games that you have downloaded on Steam, you don't own it. You don't. You literally paid to rent out a license. And let me explain. And if you guys think I'm wrong, by all means, tell me I'm wrong. But here's how this goes. You go into Steam, you look at the game that you want, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm putting it in the cart. You put it in the cart, you pay the money, and you download the game. Cool, the game is mine. Is it though? Because whenever that company or the publisher or the developer decides that they're not going to work anymore with that game, and then when you buy the disc nowadays, I'll get to the discs. I'll get to the disc. Since you have to be online to play. No, I'll get to the disc. And you're actually right. You're actually right in that. So you go ahead and you download the game, and now you're playing. Awesome. You own it. No, you don't, right? You paid for a license. That's what you did. So at the end of the day, if the developer decides that they're no longer going to support the game, they can take it out of the server. And guess what happens when you actually do go and click play on the game? The game will say, oh, this game no longer in server, or there's been an error, or the developer decides to take it out of the server. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get your money back, okay, for that game. And that's it. They took your license. That's it. You paid to rent it out, and you no longer own it. Okay, a perfect example of how you should be doing games nowadays is actually the whole company does games like this. From software, we're talking about from Demon Souls to Dark Souls to Bloodborne to Sekiro to the almighty Elden Ring. Okay. This is one of those games that actually does give you the feature of online or offline. So if I buy a disc of Elden Ring right now, and I don't want to play online, I can pop it on my PC, or I can pop it on my Xbox, or whatever it is that I bought it physically, and I don't have to play online. I don't even need to be online. Like, I don't need to have internet on my Xbox. I can literally take my Xbox, go to the beach, and put it on a game system and power it up with my vehicle, and done. I'm playing Elden Ring. That's how games should be developed. There should be an offline and there should be an online. I think most action RPGs are like that. I don't think all action RPGs are like that, but most action RPGs and RPGs itself, right? We're talking about just normal RPGs, I guess. Good example, Persona, Metaphor, maybe. I know what Final Fantasy VII, even the remake is like that. If you don't have internet, you just play it because it doesn't need any internet for anything. Nothing is happening there. There's no multiplayer going on. It is a single player adventure. Okay. Well, Willow, then you might be interested in the in Metaphor, which is from the creators of Persona. Don't worry, I'll bring that up in a segment and whatnot. So that's what I'm saying. There's no sense of ownership anymore. Let's be for real here. Yes, you might think you own it, but you don't. You don't own it. So it's like EFT. And I hate to say it, but if the developers decide, hey, we're no longer going to keep doing this game, it's too much for us. I know it's been years, but we're done. We're done. We just can't keep going with it. We're not getting where we want to get at with the game, and so we're not going to keep doing it. Cool. So those $300 gone because there's not going to be a server to play on. That's just how it is. And there's plenty of games that are like that here on Steam. Plenty of games. You know, there's lots of them like that. Jesus, I wish I can find a game because I know. Here's the thing: they will show you that the game is here, but when you actually download it or whatever and whatnot, you can't play it. It says, "Oh yeah, this game no longer is supported." Oh, cool. So then why don't you fucking take it off? But yeah, it does happen. Oh, there you go. Categories. Let's go back to the early access here, to the fucking early access games that they have right here. Funny. It was what, 12,438. Now it's 37. So one game dropped. So we already know that one early access game did not finish the race. So there's that. See how most of these overwhelmingly positive. TCG Card Shop Simulator. And the only reason why it's so good is because it's funny and people are actually creating content with it. That's all it is. Okay. But yeah, most of these games, yeah, they're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely gonna be good. Oh, that's funny. Storage Hunter Simulator. Hey, Hey, that's funny. Okay. Anyways, I'm digressing here. I'm I get it. I get spaced out. So let's go through the disadvantages for us, right? There's no guarantees. Abandonware, and that's what I was talking about, right? The industry term for video games that are abandoned in the middle of development, and that's what we call it. We call it abandonware, right? It's rife with early access titles. Sometimes developers have legitimate reasons for abandoning their games. Others just walk off with your money and don't say goodbye. The days before. Anyways, too soon. Whoever got that too soon, I'm sorry. If you got it, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Actually, I have a really good buddy that stopped me from doing it. Because I was looking at the game. I was like, damn, dude, it looks good. Not the recent videos, right? I was just looking at the recent ones when they were starting to come out. I'm like, yo, I am so glad that this dude talked me out of pre-ordering. Because it looked like one of those games where I'm like, man, I need to be on top of this shit. Like, the moment it comes out, I gotta be, like, fucking, I gotta be on it, you know? But I'm glad he didn't, because those dudes legitimate left. They didn't say anything. They just left. Took off the game out of the server and whatever and whatnot. So long, we took your money. That was crazy. That was crazy. Okay. There will always be elements of dice rolling involvement with early access. So in other words, RNG, right? Random number. Even games like Goddess, created by Fable developer and industry leader Peter Molyneux, became abandonware in 2016, and that is true because Goddess was something that everybody was actually looking forward to since it was created by Peter, right? And Peter is Come on, well known for Fable. I think Peter Molyneux is on the new Fable too. So, and if you can't rely on a man who admitted to picking up gameplay features to stop journalists falling asleep, who can you rely on? Peter's he's a beast. That dude is crazy. So those are the advantages, right? Too early for early access. So early access games aren't meant to be perfect, but they shouldn't get a free pass if they're an absolute shower. Absolutely. I agree 100%, right? 100%. Just because an early access is not, is there, it doesn't mean, oh, well, it's on early access, it's meant to be shit. No, fuck you, dude. You got to give me something that at least works, right? MVP, the minimal viable product. You need to give me something that works. Like, if not off the rip, I'm just going to call it a loss. I'm like, okay, you know what? I lost $20. Fuck your game, dude. Just saying. Simple as that. There's no buts and ifs. You know what I'm saying? Too many developers make the mistake of releasing games to early access well before they should. A level of yank comes with the territory, but players have a right to expect something playable when they hand over their money. Come on, that's common sense. That is just complete common sense. Okay, so I had some pros and cons for myself, right? So pros and cons for me, right? I wrote it like right here. Let me raise this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. These are my pros and cons, right? That I kind of wrote there and whatever and whatnot, right? So, like, pros for me, contributing to the development of the game. Early access games are usually cheaper. That's true. You experience the game's transformation. That's also true. You do. As bigger updates come by, you will see the changes in the game, which makes it feel awesome because you were there from day zero, But I feel like there's more cons than pros to the early access. So you got to take my opinion as a grain, it's a grain of salt. I think everybody has their own opinions, which is fine. So this is what I think. I think there's more cons than pros when it comes to early access. And so when you actually are thinking about getting an early access game, do your research first. Okay, really do your research. Look at gameplay, find articles, read what's going on with that company. Is those developers actually trustworthy? What other games have they played on? Just in case you guys don't know how to navigate a little bit on the Steam here. Let's say, for example, sure. Just to bring it up. When you're here, right? If you actually click on here, because this is our developer and publisher. By the way, this is actually a very popular game now. I've been seeing it all over TikTok and whatnot. Anyways, it's like Russian roulette. So you'll click on the actual developers, right? Click on it. And it will show you a list, or right here in the feature, and it will show you all the games that they have. So clearly, from this developer, this is the first game that they've ever done. So I'm happy for them because, man, they came out with something unique. This is something very unique. It's Russian roulette. It's funny. And people are just loving this game right now. Let me see if I can find something different. Let me see. Store or library. Oh, perfect. Elden Ring, go to store page. So here you go. From Software. You click on this. This is all the games that From Software has created. We'll go in just games. Okay. Armored Core, Elden Ring, Metal Wolf Chaos, Sekiro, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 3, 2, Scholar of the First Sin, Dark Souls 2, and I should be able to hit another page here, or just the list. Let me see. No, Dark Souls 1 is also here, no? Dark Souls 3. Ding. 18 action, adventure. Then RPGs. It should be 14. Top sellers. They should have more, but anyways, what I'm saying is every of these games, by the way, from Software have been amazing. Have you played Elden Ring's DLC? I have not played Elden Ring's DLC yet. No, I haven't even finished the original Elden Ring yet. I play it on my off time. That's what I do. When it comes to From Software, I really do genuinely enjoy their games. I love the passion behind it, right? So I don't like speed running any From Software game. Every little parts of the maps, regardless of the game, Sekiro, Dark Souls 3, fucking even Armored Core, every little detail that they do in the map has passion behind it. So when I do play those games, I really want to savor the moment. Like when I started playing Elden Ring, I was so dumbfounded. I was like, oh my God, this is the fucking standard. What a way to set that fucking standard. Here's the bar. Come fucking catch me. Oh, that's why people were talking mad shit about it. That's why there were other developers talking shit about it. Because they knew, they're like, bro, that game is so up here that there's no way that we're going to be able to even get there. I'm doing a whip build. Oh, good luck. So just in case you guys want to see how, trustworthy some developers can be, that's a good way to see, what other games have they made? If this is their first game, then you want to search for articles. You want to search for reviews. You want to see what everybody's talking about. Okay. So here's the cons of early access to me, in my opinion, right? The game might be in early access limbo. In other words, like Escape from Tarkov. Just saying. It might not be early access, but it's definitely on beta limbo. Early access games are usually 100%. Gray Zone Warfare is actually a really good example of the buggy game, right? Incomplete story, world, and mechanics. That's also true. A lot of early access. When it comes to the story, I'm going to be completely honest. If I get an early access game that's an RPG and there's like story parts missing, I can live with that, right? Because they'll add it in a form of lore or somewhere around, and you're like, okay, cool, no biggie. But when there's incomplete worlds and incomplete of in-game mechanics, that's kind of iffy, right? And it sucks. It really does suck, because now you don't know when that in-game mechanic is going to either get updated or it's going to get, added to the game. So, the game can become unrecognizable. That is true. If they do a lot of changes multiple times, and that's what happened with Paragon. That's why predecessor is a thing nowadays, and Omega Studios actually recreated the wheel for Paragon, and they are successful because they kept one solid idea and just worked with that, right? Predecessor, when Paragon came out, the first idea was more than enough, but then they went from this idea to another idea, so they changed the whole game, and then they went from this idea to this idea, they changed the whole game. We didn't even know what the fuck we were playing no more at that point. So yes, it can happen, right? The risk of abandonment, abandonware, and then players lose interest. Hey Willow, you hit it on the dot from the beginning. Players are just gonna lose interest. Okay? They just are. That's just the way it is. Let's go up here to the table. Was it here or was it in Taper? Okay, so it was in Tape Reel. I love these because this is well done. This article covers so much shit, right? This is from 2022, 2023. It covers a lot of good stuff. So Tape Reel, right? This was actually something that caught my eye when I was doing some research, and it's like the early access versus the full release. I think that's really cool the way they designed this. Right, here's the feature. How is that feature look like in early access, and how that feature is going to look like at full release? That's pretty much what they're trying to say, right? Give me just a quick second. Let me take a sip of this. And I don't have a co-host, so therefore, you guys are my co-host. Okay. So, feature content completion, right? In early access, it's going to be incomplete and it's ongoing development. On full release, complete and all features are included. That's the end game right there. Right? Players' expectations. Well, developing game, it's ongoing updates. That's what we should be expecting as players. What should we expect on full release? Polished and a complete experience. 100%. Preach on. Like, as a player, that is exactly what you expect from an early access to come out as a full release. You want it to be polished and you want that complete experience to be happening in conjunction with all the features included, right? Developmental stage, it's ongoing and the community gives you feedback. What should we expect at full release? We should expect finalized and minimal updates. Like we're talking about, like this right here. This should not be happening. This should not be happening right now. This is something that they shouldn't be fucking thinking about, right? What's the changes? What's the big change here? Disable Lumen's async compute with the Unreal Engine to prevent GPU crashes related to this feature. My guy, you should be figuring out what is going on with the GPU crashes all over the game. Okay? This should not be happening at this stage. Hotfixes should not be stopped. This is minimal. This is minimal. Again, on the developmental stage, this is where it should be ongoing and with community feedback. So if this is happening right now at this stage, the community is not giving you the proper feedback. Or community at all at this point. Let me see. I had the Gray Zone Discord, find it. We can pull it from here. Should be right here somewhere on the page where I can actually hit the Discord. Community Hub. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Okay. See, like I said, dead. PC resetting and CPU overheating. Like, it's bad. It's bad. That's what you should be concentrating on. Literally, that's what you should be concentrating on. I thought they had a Discord established here, but I guess not. But yeah, this is something you guys should be dealing with is what can I do to make this game better? And now you have mixed reviews like crazy. When at the beginning of it all, it was like, oh, positive. No, yeah, the game looks good and this and that. But, I'm glad that you added an anti-cheat. That's great. And I found the Discord right here. But you might not have a really big community. You're leaving Steam. Yeah, that's fine. Use external site. Opening the Discord. Let's join. So right now, they have 157,000 members. And out of the 157,000, there's 42,000 people online, right? So I'm going to join. I'll be 731 out of the, customize your experience. I don't want to customize my experience. I don't even want none of that. Skip. Yeah, choose all that apply. Sure. Let me get all of these. I want to see what's up. I am Crimson right now. I'm gonna go with that. You. Yep. All right, here we go. So there should be an area that they should be asking for feedback here in the Discord, right? Community tech support, community support, report a bug. So report a bug is part of the feedback. You know what I'm saying? And clearly that's something that they've been looking a lot on, when in reality they should not be looking at just that. They should be looking at the overall big picture of this game. How long are you going to be doing hotfixes? And why? Why are we doing hotfixes at this stage? We should not be doing hotfixes at this stage of the development. You're in early access. You should be looking at the big picture. So on the developmental stage, that's where you take the feedback, and that's when you actually start working. When you full release, it should be finalized, and then hot fixes is what's going to come up from that, right? At that point, the developers should be enjoying their game, looking how beautiful it is, how the community is playing. Oh, there's something, wrong with the bullet detection and whatnot. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and let's make a hot fix real quick. Now they start working on the hot fixes. That's your minimal updates should be done at full release. After that, besides that, you should be working on the big things. Hot fixes are not going to do anything in your game, but that's not going to bring back those players. Big fixes, big updates. What are we working with? Oh, there's this and that, and there's been talk about a big update. Where is this big update at? You know what I'm saying? So pricing, what should we expect in early access, right? We should be expecting, a lot of discounted games or very discounted. And yeah, it might increase due time, but at the beginning of the early release, as it's coming out, it should be discounted. At full release, of course, we're going to expect a fixed price and, potential sales, right? Those potential sales is for the developers. That's why there's a comma. We should be expecting a fixed price. They should be expecting potential sales from the game. Community involvement, right? As early access, the community will always be involved. Very, very high involvement because the game just came out, right? It's an early access. A lot of people are playing it. We're going to be very involved. When Gray Zone came out, people were super fucking involved with the game, right? And then we were giving out feedbacks and we were testing certain things. And then those feedbacks that were like negative or positive or whatever would be transferred over to the Discord so the developers can actually read and understand what needs to happen in their game, right? At full release, we're not going to be super involved with the game at that point. It's fully released. Now we are enjoying the fruits of our labor as players after providing all that feedback, and we should be just playing. That's why it says lower, focus on gameplay. That's it. We're just enjoying the fruits of what we started, right? We started from the bottom, now we're here. That's the same concept. I bought this game literally in early access when it was shit. Now it's full release. Holy shit, what an amazing game. See what I'm saying? The reputation risk and early access, every developer should be expecting a high risk of negative reviews. Why? Because you're giving us the MVP, right? The minimal viable product. So you're just giving us the game that functions. That's it. That's what we're buying on. And a lot of people don't understand that, right? They'll go ahead and buy this early access and be like, man, this game is shit because look at all these arrows and whatnot. Well, yeah, dude, you paid for MVP, for the minimal viable product. You paid for something that just works at the moment. That's it. You're giving the money to them, and now they're going to utilize your monies, your funds that they have now, and incorporate it into the game to make it better. So as you're going through the stages, you'll see the game change and grow. And when it full releases, that's when you get lower risks of negative reviews. Now, does it happen when it's on early access? You get really good reviews? Yes, it does. It does happen, but it all depends on how much MVP you are releasing with that game, right? Like, for example, Witchfire that we just saw. This game literally just came out like last month, but there is so much MVP on it that it deserves. Like, literally the game seems like it's fully complete. And you're just putting it on early access because there are certain features that you want, and the best way to do that is sending out the game as early access. But that game looks fucking complete. I'll show you guys again. This game is mad complete. Like, that's the gameplay. Like, that's crazy. This is early access? Fuck yeah. I'll pay in. I'll buy in. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking amazing. Amazing fucking graphics. Like, what are we talking about right now? Hell yeah, I'll buy in. Look at the detail. This is on early access? Yeah, I'll buy in. That's why it's very positive. I'm pretty sure it's very smooth. It works well. It plays well. Like, that's it. So yeah, it's gonna get praise because there's so much MVP on it. There's not even a viable. I wouldn't even say there's so much MVP. I don't think there's any minimal viable product to this. I think this is a full product. Yeah, no, this is perfect. So I like this. The early access versus full release. This was a perfect table to actually discuss. I think this says it all. This is how it should be. This is the phases. This is what we should be expecting on this phase. And as it's going through its tiers, once it reaches here, this is what we should be expecting. So right now, Gray Zone, when it comes to the content completion and the player expectations, to be honest, we're there, but on the developmental stage, we are lacking. That game is lacking. It is way behind the competition. So it needs more. It needs more. At the end of the day, the final question is, you know, we've been talking about early access for an hour now, and the truth is, at the end of the day, I like this. Hold on. We'll discuss this. I just looked at this. Benefits of early access and the drawbacks. This is perfect, right? Play games early and influence developments through feedback. Often available at lower price. Receive updates with new features and bug fixes. Self-explanatory. We already have discussed this. So this is beating a dead horse at this point. Drawbacks of early access: risk to developers' reputation if game is buggy, managing player expectations, and financial risk if the game doesn't sell well enough. Absolutely. Yeah, I love this. This is great. This is a great article to actually, like, if you really want to understand early access, like really deep in there. I'm just going over it. Yeah, this is really good because there's like they do talk about timelines here on this article too and whatnot. And yeah, this is great. See, better quality through broad testing, and this is what the benefit is and what the description of that benefit should be like. So yeah, full comparison. We already talked about this. This is great. They give you examples here, like early access case studies, right? This section explores how early access has impacted development specific games, providing real world examples that content creators can relate to, right? So building a community, Framemakers, right? Framemakers, an indie crossover fighting game, is a great example of how early access can build community. By releasing the game early, the developers gathered feedbacks from the players, refined the game's design, and created a loyal fan base invested in the game's success. That's awesome. So Framemakers, the developers of Framemakers, right? MechLoad Gaming, I think it's the name of the developers. They took the feedback and they redesigned the game, which makes sense, right? And of course, the fans are in it. The fans are in it to win it. They're like, yeah, this is where I want to be at. We got fucking developers that listen. You know how rare this shit is? Irritating on gameplay, crafting a unique experience. Actually, just Disney Dreamlight Valley, even though it's a builder, right? And it's pretty much a mobile game in reality, it's actually one of the best crafting games in the market right now, which I find like so ridiculous. Yeah, this is great. I love this article, and I love this one too. This article is pretty good too. The early access, does it hurt or help your game? You know, but that is the question. You know, so at the end of it all, the real question is, should you be buying an early access game? Right? Yes and no, and I'll explain. Right? Yeah, why not buy early access games? Right? We're talking about a cheap game, some most likely, right? Or I would like to say that most of the time you're gonna get a cheap game, and you're gonna see that game grow. Again, like I said at the beginning, out of 10 games, 4 games will survive the road. The others will die before they even get off their feet, right? When it comes to early access. So I would say, yeah, go ahead and buy it. But don't buy it if you haven't done your research behind it, right? You want to definitely make your research before you do any type of order when it comes to the early access, because a lot of factors are behind that, right? Are the developers trustworthy? Is there any drama going on with the game? Are they going through what? Are they going through law issues? You know, are they getting sued by certain companies and stuff like that? And because of those things, that does affect the development stage of those games, right? Because you don't know if they're concentrated fully on the game, or they're trying to deal with this lawsuit first and then get back into the game. And you know, there's a lot of combinations there when it comes to the development stage. So you want to definitely do your research and understand what you're getting yourself into when you actually do purchase an early game. I purchase access games all the time, early access games all the time. But I do my research sometimes on some of them. Some of them I can see the developer and be like, got it. I know who these guys are. We're all right. Gonna take some time, but we're good. You know what I'm saying? But then there's some developers that I don't know. They're new developers. So yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, I gotta do some research before I can really put money into this, right? Sometimes I do go to early access games blind, but I do pay the price eventually, right? I either pay the price with abandonware, or I come out winning. You know, it's like gambling, you know. Yeah, you put a quarter in there and throw it in. Hopefully, 3 sevens come up and you hit that jackpot. And you're like, hell yeah, dude, let's do it. But yeah, yes and no again, and that's the best way I can explain it. Is yeah, buy them. That's not bad. You get a cheap game. It's on development. You get the MVP on it. And as it grows and if it turns into an awesome game, you know, that at the end of the day, you got it, let's say for $20. And then when it full releases at 60, while everybody's paying it for $60, you have the whole game for $20. You know, it's just pros and cons yet again. So, you know, so yeah, that's my take on the early access virus. I think I don't think this is right. It says, are early access games still popular in 2023? They are, but not much as they used to be. I think they are still very much popular. And I mean, Steam says it by itself. You're telling me that they're not? That they're not popular at all? Brother. There's 12,000 fucking games. What do you mean? All early access. And all of these early access games are actually being played. Like really being played. Lockdown Protocol, huge game. Everybody's fucking playing it. Lethal Company, tons of people are creating content with that. Liar's Bar, tons of people. The Car Simulator, shit ton of people. Phasmophobia, it's Halloween, so that game is gonna pop off. And at $20, this is a great game, by the way. I have it as well. For $20, great game. I actually got this game, not at $20. I actually got this game at, I think it was like $12 or some shit. It was on sale, and I got it at $12. So think about that. And it's still on early access. So when they're done with this game, This is going to go up, first of all, because this is a great game. This is probably going to go... Lethal Company is too funny. We should actually play that sometime. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll plan it out. I don't mind it. $10, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll plan it out for sure. Yeah, see, I love funny games. Like, that's cool. Phasmophobia, like I said, really great game. It's a horror game, of course. It's Halloween, so it's going to pop off. And this game, once it actually comes at full release with everything and all that stuff, it's not going to be $20. I would 100% be sure that they will add another $20 bill onto that, and this is going to be fucking it's going to be $39.99. It's going to be $40, and I got it at $12. So, again, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So yeah, they're pretty much very fucking popular still in 2023. Sorry. So that's what I'll put in there. But anyways, I digress, and now we're gonna follow up to my next segment of the podcast. And right now, I know there's a big list of video games that are coming out in October, so I'm gonna give you the top 17 first. And then on the next podcast, I'll go ahead and release the rest of the list. It is a lot of games. There's like, I think, like about 25 video games coming out in this October. So we're going to start from games that are already out as well. Some of these games you might have not known that it's out. So I'll put it out there for you guys. That way you guys can look at it for a little bit. I'll give you some information on it. And, and if it's a game that you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that game had come out. That game looked good. Well, now you know it's out. Okay. First game is going to be Throne and Liberty. Okay, it's a free game. It's a MMORPG. It's out on Xbox, PlayStation 5, and PC. The developers are NCSoft, and the publishers is Amazon Games. It got released on October 1st, and yeah, it's an amazing game. I play it myself, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm actually pretty hooked on it. I'm pretty hooked on it. Like, it has been a hot minute that an MMORPG has hooked me up like EverQuest did back in the day. Like, this game is great. The in-game mechanics are awesome. The input lag of the controller is a little bit meh. But then again, I'm playing it on PC, so I also have to understand in my head, if I would have played it on keyboard and mouse, it'll probably even be more smoother. But I'm a pad player in heart, and I tried playing a little bit of keyboard and mouse on it, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I can't move my fingers that fast all around this bitch like that. I can't. I just can't do it. Too much. Next game on the list, Kill Knight. Kill Knight is it's going to be released in all platforms. It's actually an arcade top-down shooter, developed and published by PlaySide, and it got released on October 2. Honestly, this looks great. This looks great for what it is. If you guys don't know what an arcade top-down shooter is, I'm gonna pause music here real quick, that way we can have this for you guys here. Move this up. There you go. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Yeah, start it up. There we go. Who's ever been to the arcade and played Gauntlet Legends? Come on. People of my era. Come on. Who's gone to like an arcade, put like 50 cents in a machine and played Gauntlet Legends? Never, Durango. We gotta meet up eventually. In real life. I'm gonna take you to an arcade. They're very few, but the ones that exist, they're really nice. Actually, there's a really good arcade store. I think in not store, but it's a really cool arcade room. Really, what they're actually called, but in like La Crosse for me, dude. I went there a little bit just to play. Oh man, brought me back, dude. I felt like I was fucking 15 years old, dude. I missed the arcade era by just a few years. Oh, you're missing out, my dude. You're missing out. So this is what arcade games would look like. This is literally what they would look like. Hopefully you guys could hear that a little bit. This looks good. I might actually get this. This looks like something I would play on my Steam Deck. Oh. That got me thinking real quick. I didn't even think about my Steam Deck until now. I use my ROG Ally just for Diablo 4. A great game to play on the go. Absolutely. It looks similar, but this is just a top-down shooter. So you're just going through levels, just shooting shit. Bro, it's on Nintendo Switch. That's how you know Nintendo is in desperate needs of game. Like, this is a violent game for a Switch. This is too violent. This is too violent, man. Kids play Switch. Okay? Adults are right here. Okay? This is how I would put it. This is how I would put this. Kids. High schooler in college, maybe. Right here. This whole era right here is high schoolers and college kids, you know. Certain adults that don't want to spend on a PC game, right? And then right here, Steam, because you know Steam only belongs to the master race, and that's PC. This is where real gamers go, right here. Okay. And when people tell me, oh, but there's, you know, in Call of Duty, you know, on the Xbox and this and that, yeah, but it's played on here. That's the thing. They play it on PC, so I don't know what to tell you. Let's go console for kids. Not a hot take. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think that's a hot take at all. That's actually very accurate. Like I said, like people that don't want to spend on a PC, they'll go ahead and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do an Xbox here and a PlayStation." Like for example, myself, I was always a pad player. I would get my PC because I like to stream. It's a passion of mine. So I got me an Xbox, and I have an Elgato connected to my PC, and I can, you know, stream my Xbox, you know, for you guys and whatever. The moment I heard that there was a Ultimate Game Pass PC, like Xbox, but you can use it on your PC, I had not touched my Xbox console. maybe once, like games that don't come out on the Ultimate Pass, like UFC 4 and stuff like that, I don't see them there. I see them in the console. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'm just gonna play it in my console. I don't care. But yeah, that's Master Race right here. But yeah, man, this game looks really, really fucking good. Playside. Let's see, what are we at? Let's see what Playside has done as for other games they've created. Let's see. Age of Darkness, huh? 2021 released. Oh shit, they got another game coming out. So this one got released in October 2 of 2024, and they're working on Mouse PI for Hire, huh? Hey yo, that looks cool as fuck. You guys saw that? Yo, these developers might be it. This is an indie developer for sure. These look really fucking good. Game 3. So right now they have World Boss that got released in 2023 in June. That's crazy. So they were working on Kill Knight pretty much when this was done. And then Age of Darkness. Hey, okay, this is free to play. So we're gonna check on this real quick. Hold on. We'll continue on with this list. Oh, it's like Diablo. Yeah, you won't be able to compete, man. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with action RPGs. you won't be able to compete because the facts are the facts, right? Diablo 4 is definitely created for the casual player. That's just the way it is. If you're really hardcore into action RPGs, Path of Exile would be your cup of tea, right? I'm very huge in action RPGs. I love action RPGs. So I'm a very big PoE player, and I love PoE. I haven't played PoE in like forever though, because it's been years. But I'm waiting for PoE 2 to come out, and PoE is like very complicated skill tree. A lot of things go on in PoE, and you're like, yo, what the fuck? I tried playing PoE, I think, what was it? About a month ago on my Steam Deck just to play. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck is going on anymore in that game. So I'm just like so lost. But there's lots and lots and lots going on. See, like Diablo is one of those games where even if you started from the beginning, you could pick up. Like you'll understand what's going on and whatnot. PoE is not. PoE is like very hardcore action RPG. But yeah, you won't be able to compete. Age of Darkness wouldn't be able to compete. Go to gameplay. There we go. Yeah, that. I do not like how that looks like. I mean, it looks very cartoonish, and I'm guessing that's. I feel like that's what the developers like going with, because that arcade one, Kill Knight, looks very cartoonish, and that mouse one looks very cartoonish. So this is what that looks like. Is this action RPG? Or is this an RTS? Go back. It's an RTS. Okay, that makes sense. That makes tons of sense. Okay, this is RTS. Yeah, let me get out of here before I get cancer. I'm sorry, RTS isn't on my thing. I hate RTSs with a passion. But like, if you're an RTS player, please, it's not a hot take. It's just real-time strategies games suck. All right, so what are we looking like here? What is this? I'm just saying. Okay. What the fuck am I looking at? All right, so Arena Shooter. It's a free-to-play PvP. They do have mixed reviews, so that's something you want to take in consideration. Now, here's the thing. When you have a free-to-play game, right, an F2P, let me get out of here. I can't. Hey, man. Sarge. My bad. Okay. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to hurt nobody's feelings. All right. That will forever be your quote. You know what? I will actually go ahead and put that quote on my bot so you guys can quote it anytime you guys want. It's part of the lore. Let me get out of here before I get cancer. You know, I say that a lot, even at home. I'll be like, I gotta get out of here before I get cancer. Oh, I was like, stop. That would be my quote. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to incorporate that to my outro, right? When I'm done with my stream and be like, hey, I was Sergeant Warpath. I appreciate it. Have a good day. I'm going to get out of here before I get cancer. Peace out. Okay? And that's how we're going to finish that. All right. So, this is an arena shooter. Okay, so what, like Overwatch, I take it? That's how I feel about Arena Breakout. I gotta get out of here before I get ass cancer. All right, it's a free to play. Listen, if you see mixed reviews, but the game is free to play, you're fine. Just download it, play it. You don't like it, delete it. Done. You didn't waste money, so you're not missing out on anything, right? Okay. So far, this is their normal thing, cartoonish. Oh, okay. Damn, this is fast as fuck. Yo, that slide was infinite. Yo, why does arena shooters suck, dude? Like, I have yet to see a really good arena shooter. I said Team Fortress. I think Team Fortress was like caviar. But like Overwatch, Taka. Fucking this one, Taka. Actually, no, I'm wrong. I can't say Team Fortress. It was like cake because that's not true. Unreal Tournament and Quake, though, that's the standard. That is the fucking standard for arena shooters. Okay, and if you disagree with me, I'll be honest with you. You should not have no opinions over video games. You should not be playing ever any type of shooters at all. Because that is the standard when it comes to arena shooters. I don't think you can actually get Unreal Tournament from here, but I would like to show you guys what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's super old. Maybe Quake. Okay, I guess I can show you Quake. Quake 3 Arena. Money. This is caviar right here. This was like on point. Quake 4 is good, but just Quake 3 was just chef kiss. Here, I'll put Quake 4 so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oh, if there is any video. So maybe not. Let's see. Maybe Quake 3 has videos? No. Actually, here. Let me see if I can actually use. Hopefully, it lets me show you guys. Quake 4 gameplay. Now, as you guys can see this real quick. Sure. Actually, I think Quake 4 was not the arena shooter. I think that was the actual story. It's Quake 3 arena. There you go. All right, this is 1999, by the way. 1990 fucking, and the fact that I call it the standard says a lot of a game of that era. Opens Diablo Immortal. I gotta get out of here before I get cancer. Listen, Diablo Immortal, I don't understand what Blizzard were thinking with that. That was so disrespectful. So fucking disrespectful. Holy shit, how disrespectful that was. That one dude with the joke. Oh, that was so funny. Is this like a late April Fool's joke? Oh, that dude, man. That dude is king. It's like Arena Breakout, pay to win. You know, I know we talked about that, and we have actually discussed a little bit when we started playing Arena Breakout and whatnot. But you know what I've actually noticed is that it really wouldn't matter, because I have not bought anything from that game, and even myself just looting, I've gotten $4 million. Like, I got so much fucking money, right? And I haven't even paid for any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I need to contain my hatred for Arena. No, it's fine. It's okay for you to hate the game. You know what I'm saying? If I mean, hate is a big word, but if that's what you want, if that's what you think, right, of the game that you hated, that's fine. Everybody is entitled to its own opinion when it comes to video games. Like, you can't just love a video game for the sake of, well, everybody loves it, so I'm gonna like it. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all, right? I love MMORPGs, but I don't like World of Warcraft. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I feel there's certain items definitely that you shouldn't be paying for sure, 100%. But don't worry, they'll learn eventually once people start leaving the game and whatnot. Because I mean, like I said, I'm already level 30. There's nothing else I can do in the game. So either they raise cap for me to come back, or they create events or something. Something has to happen in the game, because right now like I said, content is power, and if there's no content, people are just gonna leave. But yeah, let me show you this. Hopefully it lets me. Yeah, it's just blocking out all. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Guys, this is the standard of arena shooters. This is how arena shooters should have been. Okay, this is what Overwatch wants to be, but will never be. Look how old this game is. I'm telling you, this is 1999. This is him playing against the machine, by the way, against like the computer, how we call it back in the day. But you can actually go online on this. Look how fast it is. This is how arena shooters should be. This whole having a oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have this dude because he has this specific weapon and shit like that. No, arena shooters should have weapons. Should have weapons in the floor, and I should be able to go get it. If I want one of those special weapons, either I fight for the shit or I be sneaky about it. But this is how it should be. If they make an arena game like this, I'd be on it. I'd be on it so fast. This is it. There's no aiming with this shit unless you have a sniper rifle. Like, you don't need to aim. You literally just move your mouse and just start shooting. This is the standard right here. Oh man, this is such a thing of beauty. I used to play this in college, man. College? No. Yeah, I did play this in college, but I think I started playing it in high school. When I started playing this, we had a little computer lab, and somebody had downloaded it on it. And people were just playing the shit out of this, and Doom as well. But yeah, that's to me, that's the standard of arena shooters. So going back, because we got a big list here. I'm sorry, I was just curious of the games that they had released over here. This right here is interesting. This game looks good, dude. This looks awesome. I'm okay with this. This looks awesome. This is the new game that they're going to release. So they already did Kill Knight. Now they're working on another game. Oh, yeah, this looks good. I don't know how I feel about the black and white, but this looks good. If you think about it, they save money by just using two colors and a lot of different types of shades. Yeah. Oh, this is cute. Yeah, this is nice. This is cool. It is very interesting. I mean, this is actually really cool, man. Add that to my wish list. This is pretty good. I'm okay with that. That's nice. Okay, so Kill Knight is their game that they released. Let's go back into the list. Next game is SpongeBob, the Patrick Star game. This is a platformer, developed by PHL Collective, published by Outright Games Unlimited. Or Outright Games Limited. And it's a sandbox action adventure game. So it's just another platformer. It's a single player game. So have you send bending? Explain yourself. I don't understand what that means. Oh, have you seen bending? Like the game Bending? So this is the game. We're not gonna I mean, this is something, you know, like this is something my son would play eventually, stuff like that. The other game that we have coming out or already out. This one is already out, right? Came out on October 4th. Yeah, sorry, my cat is being a pain. Bending. Let's see. I have not. Is it just bending or scene bending? Shit, which one is it? Is that it? It's just bending?
What a beautiful day in Bikini Bottom. Natural disasters inside. There's nothing.
This is Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. This one also has been released. It released on October 3rd. It's an action RPG developed by Dimps Corporation, of course, published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. So, this is something I would see Night Willow play, to be honest. Have you watched the... Oh, Bendy. Trailer for the game Bellum yet? It looks sick. No, I have not. Okay, I need to check that. Yeah, no, Willow, for sure. This is something I would see you play. I love the anime. I love Sword Art Online. I just don't see myself playing. But again, it's interesting the fact that it's an action RPG. Most Sword Art Online are not. So the fact that this is one of those new ones, that it's an action RPG, I might consider it. And see how it's a similar games that you have played. The fact that it's similar to Path of Exile. Yeah, this is something you might want to consider. So that means that there's some complicated elements to this game, and I like that. I just want to see gameplay. I haven't seen this yet. Yo, those graphics are nice. Oh, I like it. Okay.
そもそも死んだはずなんだ。ここでは
It's funny. I'm playing a video game about a character that gets stuck inside of a video game. Hell yeah. So it's like buying 2 video games in one. If you guys have not seen Sword Art Online anime, you're missing out. It's like Dot Hack. Yeah, it's from the same creators. Alright, this is all video. Move to next. Gameplay, please. No more anime. I just want gameplay.
じゃあ行こうか。
Here we go. You know what? The gameplay is similar to Black Desert Online video, or like Throne and Liberty, at least for like the movement of fights of the fighting ones.
でもなんとかなりそうな気がするよ。
I like this. I like this. What do you think, Willow? You see me playing this or what? This looks good. This looks really good. I'm actually pretty surprised. Even though I feel like they're using closed caption, but I feel like they're insulting me regardless. They're probably saying in Japanese, "Hurry up and buy." Yeah, this looks really good. This definitely looks really, really fucking good. Mostly positive too. So, what's the difference here? All right, let's look at this content real quick. What am I getting for? Volume 1. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Looking to see why these are that expensive. I need to know what I'm purchasing. This looks really, really fucking good. It should be like a. Oh, there you go. Yeah, let's put it on the wish list. That way I don't forget it. I actually check my wish list before I do buy any other game, just in case I'm missing out and be like, oh yeah, I forgot I want to buy that. So let me see. What was the game? Bellum. That's what it's called. Bellum. Is it the Ballad of Bellum? Or Bellumtum, or Bellum. Let me check. Let me check YouTube real quick. Oh, it's just Bellum. First look at Bellum, the newest large-scale tactical first-person shooters for Milsim fans. Okay. Interesting. I'm guessing this is going to be in its own engine. Oh my lord, I had the fucking thing. Why are we not blocking that? Who cares about timing? I'll edit that. Ooh. Holy shit, pre-alpha? I know who Karma cut. Holy. Oof. Ground Branch. I love Ground Branch. Oh my god.
So let's talk about what we Bellum stated to be a realistic FPS with often gunplay.
Looks amazing. Oh my god, cell phone. The digital mapping.
So something like maybe players like what quadruple comms, where Bellum is definitely
Bro, this looks great, man. These are just images of the game, but oh, your hand should be on the bicep, man. Be like that. I mean, that makes sense. If you're gonna make a realistic FPS. This looks beautiful. See, this is a game we all gotta hop into, the Rango. This is it. This is it right here. Pop, pop, pop. Absolutely. I know Oj will play this game with us too. Yeah, this looks insane. Oh my god. I think this is Arma. Yeah. Oof, oof. Yeah. This is oof. No, that's fine. That's fine. First of all, this is this is what I was talking about with the developmental stage of early access, right? This is how it should be. Yeah, focus on the fucking core gameplay. Absolutely. Give us that experience. Show us what your in-game mechanics are gonna look like, right? Prepare us for that. Because who cares about having customizable kits and weapons right now? If the core gameplay first doesn't work, right? If the in-game mechanics don't work, what the fuck does the customizable kits and weapons are gonna do if shit doesn't work? Nothing. They're gonna do fucking nothing. And I'm just gonna have a shitty experience. And I'm gonna say, great, it's another fucking shit game. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah, that definitely deal with the in-game mechanics. That is what I'm fucking talking about. You guys are finally figuring it the fuck out. And everything I'm listening, everything I'm seeing right now, and the fact that this is in their Discord, that they're literally telling people, no, we're going to focus on core gameplay. Like, suck it up. Deal with what you have. Whatever weapons we're going to give you, that's what you're going to use. Deal with that. And then we'll do the core gameplay. And then after that, we'll fucking rock them out. Right? This here, this is a full game minor release. Right? This is like little shit. This, big, small, big. This is where you concentrate. Fucking perfect. If they concentrate on this and this shines, we have a really good fucking game in our hands. This will be a really good milsim for years. Because this looks really good so far. Our first three factions include the 75th Ranger Regiment, Russian PMCs, and local rebel forces. These forces will be equipped with the weaponry that they are known to utilize by today's standards. We're gonna get a Scar. Scar and full auto M4, right? Yeah, full auto M4, Scar. It's a different name. It's not called the Scar, but we call it Scar, right? It's what everybody knows it by. We should be getting not the Saw, should be the fuck, what was it? The Bravo, the 240 Bravo. Not the Saw, it'll be the 240 Bravo. Then also we should be getting the grenade launcher, little grenade launcher, the 203, I think that's what it was called. Like 203. I don't know about these local rebel forces, but I would take it. It's fucking AKs, recoilless rifles. I'm pretty sure for the local rebel forces, since he said it was going to be in Africa. Russian PMCs will probably have, I don't know, fucking probably like what, maybe some P90s, maybe a version of the AK, probably AK-74U or AKMs. So yeah, this is gonna be, god damn. CAKMs. Called it. Yep. RPK, AKs. Called it. Yeah, full. Yeah. And they. Oh, it's our RPK. Okay, RPD. Oh, there it is. 203. Have that. That's the 240 Bravo. Okay, so they're not giving us the SCAR. They're just giving us the modified M4. That's fine. That's fine. Modified M4 works out. 203, modified M4, and a 240 Bravo. Okay. Holy shit. They're giving us the old status Harris radio. By the way, guys, if you guys want to know what the name of that is, okay, I actually deal with that equipment. I actually have some of that equipment that I manage nowadays. This can go actually into a man pack and it'd be converted into a PRC 152. But on a standalone, this is a radio transmitter 1619 Delta right here. Okay, this is right here on your side. This is considered an embedder. It's kind of technically the same thing, but this one has long frequency radio unless this is packed on a man pack. If this is on a man pack, then you can actually have bigger freak than this right here. Yeah, I'm involved. I'm involved. I'm sold. Let's fucking go. Oh, that's a GM. So that's the Russian one? I've never seen those. I thought it was the 203. Actually, the 203 is smaller. 203 is just a little pump. So yeah, you're right. You're right. 203. Is it the mic 203? Yeah, there it is. It's the here's the one that goes in the bottom. I think 205. Hold on. 205 is just standalone. All right. Oh, there it is. 320. So this is the American. So this is the Russian American version of it. So this is our modular one. This shit flops over to the side. You hear the grenade coming out, then connect it back in. Yeah, but this is our standalone, and you can actually equip it. And oh, it's funny, it's equipped on a SCAR. But yeah. Okay. He's using the Odin page? Smart. Yeah, the Odin is something we all use in the military. This is how we plan stuff. We get all our information from enemies and stuff like that in the Odin. This dude is military, ex-military. Yeah, this is fucking awesome. EMPs. What? Oh. Yep. Bro, this isn't. This is too much. This trigger's not bad. Damn, this looks so good, bro. I know this is another game, but like what I'm listening to, it looks really good. Like it feels like the game is getting insane. This one? I think this is Arma. I think this is Arma Reforger. Still Bellum? Sorry, I had to take a call. No. They're just showing the it's still Bellum. It's still the trailer, but it's him explaining what they're thinking or what they're doing. Focus on gameplay first. Fuck yes. This is Hell Let Loose. Look, that's okay. That's okay. As long as the microtransactions or DLCs, right, are not affecting the stats of a game. As long as it's not affecting the war field, we are fine. It is fine. Oh, you know, having like a pack of cigarettes on your fucking helmet or something like that, cool. That's fine. That doesn't affect anything. It just looks cool. That's it. I'm okay with that. Yes, microtransaction. No, it makes sense. It makes sense because it's a long-term funding. You got to understand this. All right, I'm gonna head out before I get cancer. No. Trust me, if I would have heard something weird, I'd be like, yep, that's it. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm about to get cancer. You know what I'm saying? Oh, get out of here before I get cancer. Like, this is not bad. This is not bad. Having microtransactions, it's not entirely a pay-to-win system. All it's telling you is, hey, we might have some skins. You know what I'm saying? We might have some skins and stuff like that. That's my new favorite quote. Hey, you're more than welcome to use it, man. More than welcome to use it. Who knows? Maybe I'll create merch like that. Little t-shirt that says, I'm out of here before I get cancer. So, yeah. I'm okay with that. For them to have funds constantly, this is going to be a big game. It's a PC title. That's fine. We'll be using easy anti-cheat. Fuck yeah. Build using Unreal to be determined. However, Bellum utilizes next generation technology will require contemporary hardware. Oh, it just means as like actual ones that are happening right now, right? Yo, RTX, you want to have good fucking, i7s, 10s and up and stuff like that. So that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. Happy for that. Looks really fucking good. All right, back to the game of the list here. We can complete this out for us. We have Until Dawn coming out. There you go, guys. We have Until Dawn. Developer is Ballistic Moon. The publisher is going to be Sony, of course. This already is released October 4th. This is be released on PC and PlayStation 5. This is a horror and adventure game. So, next game. Well, it won't come up on here because it is a mobile, but it's Disney Pixel RPG. It's actually on mobile. The genre is RPG, developed by Disney, published by Disney, and it's been released already on October 7th. But what someone could buy in 2 seconds, kill me, that'd be... No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. As long as they don't affect the stats of the game, microtransactions will be just fine. Just fine. This is a very unique game here. It's called Kind Words. It's a lo-fi city pop.
You can be nice to people.
Literally, all you're doing is sending text messages to people and just send them nice things to people. That's about it. Yeah, I don't know if I want to pay $16.99 to send nice stuff to people. This is just a chill game. This literally is created for the person that does just chatting on a stream, pretty much. That is the whole game. Yep, that's the whole game. Should I do that in my daily life? Exactly. Literally, that's all it is. I do have a problem with this game, though. And the problem I have with this game is it's kind of a meta universe kind of deal. The game was designed for the people that have issues, social issues, meaning they're... Look, I don't want to disrespect anybody if anybody has this problem, because that's not the case. But I guess the proper term is like socially awkward. For the person that's like that, this game is probably going to be awesome, right? Because you're actually interactive socially, but differently. You're socially interactive with another person digitally. It's no difference than sending a DM through, Instagram or X and or Snapchat or something like that. It's no different than that. It's just a game where you can be your own persona. You create your little character, and now you're socially in a world and you interact. And my problem with that is exactly that. Is that it's changing what it could be, like I don't want people to just say, oh well, why go outside and socialize when I could just do that with this game. I think it's creating more of a problem than an actual solution. But it is what it is. Fuck it. If they want to play it, they want to play. I mean, it has very positives. There's 172 users, and clearly they're all pretty much saying it's positive. So, with your take on that, yeah, I mean, I think it's creating more of a problem than an actual solution. But if somebody is really that bad to the point where, hey, I want to socialize through this game, then fine. Better than getting a phone call, from a family member or something, but like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the word, but better than getting a bad phone call, But yeah, Kind Words 2, it actually is already out. It's very positive, as you can see. The developer is Pop Cannibal, and the publisher is also Pop Cannibal. So if this is a game you guys want to experience with that, then go for it. It's actually pretty cheap. It's not bad. It's at 15% right now. So next game in the list that is probably already out, Silent Hill 2. This is the remake. I might be getting this game so I can play it on close to Halloween, so probably sometime next week I might get it just to play it with you guys. I do love the psychological horror games. I love those because it's a brain fucker. I actually played Silent Hill 2 back in the day when it was like PlayStation 2, I think. Great fucking game, by the way. So, developer is Blopper Team SA and the publisher is Konami. So, I don't like talking to people, period. You're talking to me, Willow. What are you talking about right now? Now she'll be like, yeah, I'm not talking to you no more then. So fuck you. The god damn. I would love to play that. Yeah, I might get that. Yeah, I might get it. I love this game is great. And the remake looks amazing. This looks so good.
Are you afraid?
Yeah, this game looks so good. I hate that bell. Oh, once you hear that ring, oh no, Fort Solis. A lot of people have told me that to play Fort Solis. I thought about that too. Yeah, this psychological horror game is no more than like Resident Evil. Really, it just has a little bit more. It's a little bit more horrific. It's kind of up your alley. Okay, I'll think about it. Either it's going to be this or Fort Solis then. Oh, gee. Right, it's actually on my watch list. Yeah, I guess somebody is broadcasting it right now. I can't talk. Jesus Christ. The voice actor from Red Dead Redemption 2 is the main character, Roger Clark. Oh, shit. Well then, we'll see. We'll think about it. I mean, it's a little bit more cheaper, so why not? And there's also, I guess, The Invisible. So that's a DLC content. Yep, some DLC content there. The soundtrack. Okay, don't care about that. Layers of Fear. That's another DLC content that came out. So we'll see how this looks like. Might get the base game for now just to see. But yeah, it's on my wish list. So next game is Amber Isle. That is also out. There you go. This is Amber Isle. Pretty much it is a world builder. So you're a dinosaur and you're creating a world. That's literally what you're doing. I don't see any PvP with it. It's literally just a single player. So it's just you by yourself and you're just creating a world. That's all you're doing. Developer was Ambertail Games and the publisher is Team 17, which is actually a very well-known publisher. So this is one of those chill games. If you're streaming, you could just create a world and talk to your chat and whatnot, right? Without having that issue of like, oh, hold on, give me a second. Oh, you know. For the people that like to craft worlds, why not? Next game, of course, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. For those who are fans of Dragon Ball, apparently this is a masterpiece. So, developer is Spike Chunsoft, and then the publisher is Bandai Namco Entertainment. It's already out, so go for it. Apparently, it's a big masterpiece. Like everybody's been talking nothing but good shit about it. So, I don't like 3D fighters. That's what this genre is. So, not bothered by not playing it. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Let's see. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Let's see, what are we looking like here? Oh, is this from the creators of Cuphead? Oh, this is a horror game. Yeah, it is. Interesting. So this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. Tomorrow when I get on to stream, we'll put a couple of games and then people can vote on it. How about that? Hopefully a lot of people do come in tomorrow and whatnot, but yeah, we'll do like a little vote and then we'll choose a game, right? And then that way, that way we can be like, okay, what am I playing? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind any of the spooky games. I love me some spooky games. So I'm okay with that. I'll figure out something with the lighting. I do have some red shades that I can put on my actual lights. So I'll do that so it can just reflect red. That way it's a little bit darkish. I'm in my basement, so it's going to be great playing these spooky games. I'll turn off the lights completely out of my basement and I'll have the red shades. And yeah. We'll see how this goes. Let's see. Next game in the list. Sarge, what? Europa. It's this game right here. It's a platformer game. It's a 3D platformer. The developer is actually, I think it's like 2 or 3 developers. It's a very small team, and they created this whole game. And the publisher is Future Friend Games. It's pretty cool. That's a 3D platformer. It's a very beautiful 3D platformer, by the way. You have to play the mortuary assistant. It's funny because Night Willow said the same thing. I'll put it up. Put it up on the list. We'll create the list and then we'll vote on it. Turn up the jump scare. Highest max it goes. I actually have in my library. So yeah, it's a 3D platformer, guys. It's a simple game, but it's so beautifully made that honestly, you can't be mad. If you play this, you're probably gonna be fine. This is a great game. I'm not into 3D platformers, but this looks really beautiful. But if I do go in my library and I go into software, pretty sure it's in there. Maybe not. And it's definitely in the games. Let me search. There you go. Desktop jump scares. I just got to reinstall it. But yeah, people can use this and activate, where it randomly activates jump scares. If you guys have never had this, you can actually download it. It's free. So this is how it looks like. Just random shit on your PC. Even doing games, it appears above everything. Yep, and you can customize it however you want. There you go. So every time you jump, you have to put on the tutu on for 5 minutes. All right, I'm okay with that. So yeah, I have that. Got my desktop jump scares. Back to the store. Okay, so the next game is a game that I was recommending Night Willow, and it's Metaphor. It's from the creators of Persona. Here you go. Developer is Atlas, publisher is Sega. So there you go, Willow. Oh, sweet. I could fix my thing here. I was trying to figure it out. There you go. Perfect. Oh, it looks interesting. Oh, yes. It looks good. Even I was like, this looks really fucking good. I think it's a remake of the original Metaphor. Because it's called re something. Yeah, this looks really good. Yeah, ReFantazio, there you go. And you can play the demo if you want. Just in case, you play the prologue and be like, okay, yeah, I can deal with that. That's pretty good. So, okay, so next one. Starship Troopers Extermination. Okay, it's on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and on PC. It is a 16 co-op shooter. The genre is co-op first-person shooter, developed and published by Offworld, and it's already been released. So, if you guys want to play it, you're more than welcome to it. I think the gameplay does not look good at all. I'm going to be completely honest. This is one of those games that should have come out in early access, so they could fucking get some funds for a better engine, because these graphics do not look good. This is what Helldivers was inspired on, but Helldivers did it better. So, not a big fan of that. Next game on the list is Transformers. Where is it? Galactic Trials. Apparently, this has like positive reviews. Developer is 3D Clouds. Publisher is Outright Games. This is a action shooter, so like an arena shooter kind of deal. But this does not look good at all. I don't. Yeah, this does not. It's rough. This has been already, of course, released. So. The other one is Neva. That's the other one. This one comes out actually on October 15th. So there's no reviews for it, of course. Developers Nomada Studios. And the publisher is Developer Digital. It's a platformer adventure. So it's a kind of a side scroller kind of deal. Oh man, that dog just got wrecked. It's like it has like all these beautiful art going on, but like for you to really understand the game, you won't have a choice but to actually get it and play it to understand what this is all about. It's like it's definitely one of those games. Okay, this next game is a funny game, and I definitely am going to get it eventually, and it's Squirreled with a Gun. Okay. Super very positive. Developers is DD Creations, and the publisher is Maximum Entertainment. This is a third-person shooter. It's just a funny third-person shooter. It's a single player too. And there you go. It's just Squirrel with a Gun. This is it. Bro, who came up with this shit, dude? It is so good. Oh my god. Run, squirrel. They call it the Grand Theft Acorn. Oh, this is so good. 10 for 10 for realism. I'm dead. Take it, squirrel. It's funny that they put rock music to it. There you go, squirrel with a gun. I am going to play it. And the last game of the list for now is A Quiet Place Road Ahead. This is another, it's a survival horror game. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie A Quiet Place. This is what this is. And apparently this game actually utilizes, oh, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. This one actually uses your microphone technology. So in other words, it's one of those games where you cannot talk. If you talk, you attract the monsters. So you got to watch where you're walking, and you got to watch how you speak, even if you breathe hard. He seems very cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like the idea. Yeah, this is going to be really good. Okay, so pre-order now. Get the following digital content. 3 inhalers, 2 batteries. I'm guessing the inhalers are something, yeah. This concept art, I don't care. Creature animation showcase, I don't care. If it would get something from this, it's probably this. So the pre-order is really not that worth it. But yeah, that's the last game I got on the list. There's other games. There's like 20 some games that are going to come out, but on the next podcast we'll talk about it. We'll talk about all that stuff. That's it. That's all I got. That's the end of the podcast, guys. I do appreciate you guys tons for coming in and sitting down and having your own opinions on the early access. You know, I call it the virus, but really mostly a dilemma. But yeah, you know, the early access. So, I appreciate it, Durango. Appreciate it. I'm actually going to be getting offline for a second. I'm going to go take a piss and whatnot, go to the bathroom, and then I am coming right back so I can play some Throne and Liberty with you guys. So stick around. I'm just going to drop stream and it's going to come right back up. So I could change my profiles. But yeah, thank you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. Love you guys tons. I was Sergeant Warpath and I was your host for today. And I hope I get to see you guys on the next episode in the next 2 weeks for the podcast. All right. So I'm going to get out of here before I get cancer. Take care. Peace out.